We're continuing to follow the efforts of law enforcement, and as it appears, they are getting ahead of the situation. National Guard has been dispatched to Harrisburg and continues to guard important infrastructure at this time. But word is the area has been quiet. A detachment did head from the base in Cranberry Township and has been helping locals distribute food and supplies, but they have not been assisting police in their efforts. Local law enforcement in some areas are requesting assistance from the public in combating this illness. Many police and first responders have been injured during the activities, and it has caused a depletion of resources in many rural areas in places like Pennsylvania. Union and other authorities warn against the action of swearing in unknown and untrained individuals to take on activities they are not suited for undertaking, citing potential civil actions as new laws have been passed to protect the sick from attacks that have been pushed by Democratic leadership both on local and federal levels. Indeed, it's been clear that many people have lost their lives in engagements both with people who are sick and those presumed ill, and the results are still under investigation. These results are not readily clear at this time and could require a great deal of investigation as events continue to compound over time. One representative who asked not to be named said, "It's important that well and sick people have the same rights and that their rights to be safe is in their person and activities as they heal from this sickness." End quote. With questions of violence looming both in cities and small towns, it is clear police are becoming more important now more than ever. But the question union leaders have asked is, where will they get these additional officers and resources, and how will they be compensated appropriately for their efforts like extended overtime? Currently, police are working beyond 12-hour shifts in some cases to cover the sick or injured. This all comes at a time when reports show illness may finally be getting under control. Attacks in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia have decreased. Georgia, and specifically Atlanta, have been working more closely with CDC and government officials and have been lax to relay information to the press. When pressed for information, a spokesman stated these events are dynamic in nature and require a great deal of clarity before we can make any foundational announcements. It's important that the media understand that hyperbole can lead to hysteria, and maintaining an organized response is key. This was said as National Guard was being rolled into the Capitol and a state of emergency was declared. Georgia had announced a complete news blackout until they got to the heart of the problem, but digital media of the events continues to broadcast from the city proper with homegrown filmmakers walking the streets looking for something to happen. Most received police and National Guard intervention, but some media has slipped through. And this is something we just got in just right now. How much longer can we expect these events to continue? It's been hard to say, but one doctor in Pennsylvania is warning of a greater danger as a video surfacing from the Pittsburgh regional area, surmised in an interview we captured earlier today.
I know what they're telling you. It's not true. This isn't over. It's just the beginning. And I think it's important for the people to understand we're being told to keep quiet. But it's too far gone right now. It's too far. The truth of the matter is the people who are infected die, and those who die are being reanimated in some way. We're not completely sure about, and they're attacking the living. I'm not being extravagant. This is not a fabricated story. I've spent the majority of my day today trying to save people, and instead I'm seeing people, for lack of a better word, turn. They turn into these things, and it's important that you understand that they aren't your loved ones. They're not your friends. They're not even human any longer. They're simply gone by all reasonable definition. If you are bitten by one of these things, you are going to die. It's as assured as the sun coming up tomorrow. And when you die, you have mere minutes before you will come back, and you won't be you. You'll attack anyone you come in contact with, friends, family, loved ones. You need to listen to this. These people, they attack. anyone they attack, they'll get back up and they'll attack someone else, the next person. And I don't know what they're doing at these shelters, but it's not curing people, because you can't be cured. Look, I gotta go.
Is this true? I'm on? Okay. We were lax to display that video, and we were even warned not to share it by many different sources. This video has been going viral for the last few hours and is spurning definitively a call to action. The CDC called the statement preposterous, and military called the information delusional at best. But this has been fact-checked. My producer is confirming this is accurate. That the dead are being animated by some unknown force that drives them to attack and devour the living. I can't believe I'm even saying this, folks. It's impossible to believe it. Everyone here is with you in understanding if you can't believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has come on the heels of the following report. We now have word of attacks in Chicago, Illinois, and New York City proper. What was thought to be gang violence is now being attributed to this illness. In the case of New York, infected trapped in a building were somehow released and attacked others also staying in the building. At one point, the doors are open and they were released, attacking anyone that they came in contact with. New York mayor followed up with the assessment and a statement that housing sick individuals is now a crime, and anyone not reporting to shelters will be subject to arrest. In the statement, they say they have not ruled out going building to building in an attempt to clear out anyone that is sick. So I'm going to go off script a little here. It's come to my attention right now. Recently, the federal government has passed a resolution on expenditures should a biological attack of this nature occur, stating that if 80% of the population were to be affected, the response would be mustered. The question is did they have an idea that this was going to happen? Now, I think that's too early to tell right now, and very difficult to make an assessment like that so early, but as many have said in the past, it's best to follow the rats when the ship is sinking. There is no doubt as the sun goes down tonight that we're going to see more statements of state and potentially even national emergencies. And I think it's time we start questioning these shelters. In fact, let's just get someone out there right now. I think we have some people down there. Maybe they need to ask some hard questions. I know a lot of people have just heard some difficult information, and I know it's hard to believe. And we hope, actually we pray, that it's not true. We hope that what we've experienced today was just somehow some fluke and it's wrong. But the truth is we're facing, regardless of this information, a difficult situation. And no matter how we spin it, I think it's time to start understanding. It's time to get some clear answers. Okay, so I think we all need a break right now, and when we come back, we'll see if we can get some more answers about the compelling questions that have been brought before us, and try to clear up some of this information. We'll be back shortly.
This message is from Civil Defense. Your area remains under high alert. It's important to stay in your home at this time. Avoid contact with anyone you believe may be sick or ill. Avoid anyone that is unresponsive. If you encounter an individual you believe to be sick, contact Civil Defense. Do not contact emergency services, as these lines need to remain open at all times. If you are sick, it's important that you submit yourself to a local shelter for processing and treatment. This has been a message from Civil Defense.